And welcome back to the Game Hub for yet another Sentinel ship location video. Now this one is 100 S-Class Sentinel ship locations. These are all the S-Classes that's been found so far in 2024 here at the Game Hub. All finds on the Game Hub. All exclusive here. Now, this is simply a roundup, like I say, of all the finds so far from January 2024 till June 2024, and there's a lot more that hasn't been put on the channel yet that will be coming soon. Now, because this is a roundup, this is going to contain all the ships from all the galaxies we've hunted in, but each part of the video, each chapter, will indicate to you very clearly which galaxy you need to be in for those S-Classes. So are you ready to check out all the S-Classes we found so far in 2024? Let's go. Right, ship number 1 then on today's list. All the details for every ship will show at the top of the screen as we display each ship, and that includes the coordinates for the exact location of each ship and the glyphs. Now this first one comes in a color scheme of blue, white and black. Now the supercharged slots, you do have to unlock those empty ones on the right to see them all, but it's 2 on the right and then 2 over on the left, but they're not touching. Now in the air you can see the blue, white and black in full glory. It has the winch on the front and the pincers, plenty of thrusters, stinger, loads of laser wings. It's not my cup of tea. What about you? Next. Now second on today's S-Class list comes in a colour scheme of green and purple. Plenty of green on this one, all the details top of the screen. Now mini wings on the bottom as well, so it does have a nice profile in the air, we'll see that shortly. Now supercharged slots, you can see 3 towards the middle and 1 over on the right. Not a bad little layout on this one. Now in the air it's quite sleek, quite simple, and like I say, the mini wings on the rear do give it a nice little profile once in the air. But do you like green, or should it never be seen? Next. Okay, now moving on now to ship number 3 on today's list. Now this one comes in a nice colour scheme of turquoise blue and red, almost like a Spider-Man style, but a lighter pale blue. Now the skinny wings put me off, not my cup of tea. Supercharged slots, we got 3 towards the middle and 1 on the right. The 3 in the middle are not touching though, there is a gap unfortunately. Now in the air it doesn't look too bad, nice little profile if you like the skinny wings, but like I say, skinny wings are not for me. Let's move on. Next. Right, now moving on to the next one on today's S-Class list, number 4. Now the colour scheme on this one comes in red and orange. Now it's got a nice shape to this ship, nice wide front, the box grille, nice layers of wings, nice thruster setup, but it's got orange as a secondary colour, and the slots are also, as you can see, very orange, very spread out and all over the shop. In the air the profile's not bad on this ship, but the orange, I couldn't do it, would never do it. Could you do it? That's the question, that's the big question. Let's move on. Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 5 on today's S-Class list. All the details top of the screen. Colour scheme on this one, again, we got another green today. Nice simple profile. We got a few simple ones to start with, but I know many of you do like these. Now the supercharged slots on this one, again, they do become a little bit lackluster. Once you've unlocked all the empty ones, you can see they're all spread out. So it's a design over slot choice with this one. It's an S-Class, but are you happy with them slots? Not me, I couldn't do it. Let's move on again. Next. Okay, now with ship number 6 on today's list. All the details top of the screen. Now the colour scheme on this one comes in a yellow, white and black. It is a dragonfly style this one, and it does have the skinny wings. Not for me then. Now supercharged slots, if we have a look at these, we can see initially 2 and a 1. Unlock them all and that changes to a 2, 2. So very balanced. Now in the air, it does look okay, very simple, but I'm not a fan, as you all know, of the skinny wings, so I'm going to take a rain check and pass on this one. What about you? Next. Right, now ship number 7. All the details top of the screen. The colour scheme on this one comes in blue and white. Very simple looking ship. I don't think we chose hunt on this one. I think one of the crew at the time landed at the S-Class, so it was documented. Now the supercharged slots turn into a V3 one, as we'd call it. so not the greatest. Now in the air, it looks, well, simple, pretty much as it does on the ground, except the wings do dip and drop. What do you think of this one? Too simple? Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 8 on today's list. All the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in a red and purple. Now it's almost a tie style. It does have the deep vent wings and does have the mini wings on the top, as well as the extensions top and bottom. Supercharged slots, we've got 3 over towards the left and then 1 towards the middle. Now, not the greatest again, but it is an S-Class. Once in the air, once it's all opened up and dipped down, it doesn't look too bad if you like this tie style of ship. Not for me though, too simple. I'm going to move on. Next. Okay, now moving on with ship number 9 on today's list. All the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in a blue and red. You can't really see the red too much as it's just on the engine. Has 2 layers of wings, the vent wings and the rear bat wings. Now with the supercharged slots, you can see 1 on the left, 2 in the middle and 1 over on the right. Now this Elvis style is not my cup of tea. I don't think many will fly it. However, we did choose Hunt based on the votes. So S-Class was found and this is what we found. Is it good enough for you? Next. Now, moving on to ship number 10 on today's list. All the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in a very bright yellow. Tank feet, bug, and just 1 simple set of wings. Again, very, very simple. Most of them have been this evening. Now, supercharged slots, we have 2 on the left and 2 over on the right, but the 2 on the right are not touching. In the air, it doesn't do much other than the tank feet tuck up and the wings tilt slightly. Other than that, not much to see. Let's move on. Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 11, the halfway point. Now, all the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in red, white, and black. Very simple style, this one. Not too much going on, but some do like them this simple. If they didn't, we wouldn't have hunted. Now, the supercharged slots on the S-Class we found for this one were a free one, but the free one is a stepped free one. They're not all connected. In the air, very simple. The bottom section does drop and tilt, as you can see. The wings dip, but not too much happens on this one. Next. Okay, now with ship number 12 on today's list. All the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in a yellow, white and black. Quite a bit going on this one, even though it is quite simple. You've got the stinger, you've also got the undersection, and you've got the wing tips on there. Not too bad, but unfortunately the supercharged slots once again are very spread out on this particular S-Class. In the air, it does look quite nice if you like this color scheme. Wings dipping down with them wingtips gives it a nice little profile. What do you think of this one? Let's move on. Next. Right, now moving on to ship number 13. Again, all the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in white. What do you think of this one then? Now, it has the stinger on the top, but unfortunately it has the skinny wings. The bottom section does open up once in the air. Supercharged slots, we have 2 on the left, 2 over towards the right. Now once in the air, you can see that the bottom section does open, so it does give it a nice profile. It really is a shame it didn't have full size wings, or I may have considered it. Next. Right, now we have a dragonfly with tank feet here, number 14. All the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in yellow and red. But are you loving it? Not all the thrusters are lit. It does have the full size wings, so it has a lot of shape there. Supercharged slots, we can see 3 over on the right initially. Once you've unlocked them all, you can see 1 in the middle, but the 3 are not touching, unfortunately. Now in the air, it looks as good as most dragonflies do. It could have done with a little bit of extra on the wings, but some may not like the tips or the prongs. Do you? Now, not for me. Next. So, let's move on to ship number 15. All the details, top of the screen, color scheme on this one. Yet again, white, but with blue this time. Now, this one we hunted because it does turn into an X-wing formation, so it does all open up in the air. Supercharged slots on the S-Class we found on this one were 3 over on the right and 1 towards the middle. And like I say, once you get it in the air, it does all open and fan out to give it that X shape from the rear. Do you like this one? Let's move on. Next. Right, now moving on to ship number 16 on today's S-Class list. Now we have another little dragonfly here with full-size wings. The colour scheme is like a minty green and purple, but the full-size wings do make of the ship. Now it doesn't have any side wings, so it's a very simple style once in the air. Now supercharged slots, unfortunately, once again, once you've unlocked the empty one, you can see they're all spread out. So again, if you want the S-Class version of this, you're picking style over slots, and obviously the fact is an S-Class. Now in the air, like I say, very simple with no extra side wings. Keep it sleek, keep it fast. Do you like it? Next. Now moving on to ship number 17, details top of the screen, glyphs and coordinates. Now yes, we've added an orange only because we landed at the S-Class version. Otherwise it would have been a next. But supercharged slots on this one, once you've unlocked them all, typically, like an S-Class, they're not very good. 2 on the right, 1 over on the left and 1 towards the middle. Now, do you like this default style of Sentinel ship in this colour? Scan incoming. We better move on. Next. Right, now let's move on. Ship number 18. Now this one's not orange. Now all the details at top of the screen. Now it's another dragonfly style with full-size wings. It comes in like a purple and minimal white. Now it does have the pincers which do give it a nice little shape. Supercharged slots you can see 3 together over on the left and then 1 all the way over on the right. It does have the wide front with the Y-light. This is not a bad little ship and I did consider keeping this one just for a little while. Would you? Next. Okay, now ship number 19 on today's list. Once again, we have another dragonfly style here. Once again, full-size wings. It's like a nice aqua colour, this one. Now, it does have the rear bat wings and another set of wings that give it the side extension and a little bit of extension at the front, but unfortunately, the supercharged slots are a 2-1-1. Do you like this style? Do you like this colour? Again, I had this one just for a few days until something better came along. Would you add this to your collection? Next. Right now, ship number 20 on today's list. Details top of the screen, colour scheme on this one is red. Look at all them thrusters, so many thrusters. Now we do have a little bit of white in there as well. Now you do have all the mini wings there, top and bottom. So you do get the little X-wing style in the air. Supercharged slots, we got 2 on the left and 2 over on the right that are split up. Now in the air, if you like the X-wing style, like I say, you do have the mini wings that give you that nice formation and profile and all those thrusters. But it's not my cup of tea, so let's move on. Next. Right now, ship number 21 on today's list. Again, all the details top of the screen, like every ship we show. Color scheme on this one comes in green Rizzler, yellow and green. Now, if it had full-size wings, maybe Green Rizzler, one of our members, would be interested in this one. Supercharged slots, we have 2 on the left and then 2 on the right, but they're not connected. Now in the air, like I say, it's a shame it doesn't have the full-size wings, but if you like skinny wings and you like the Green Rizzler colour scheme, then maybe this is for you. But let's move on. Next. Right now, ship number 22, all the details top of the screen and my favourite of this collection. This one I called Elegance Reborn. It was in my collection again for a good week or so until I replaced it, and it was a tough decision. It's a nice colour scheme, this one. Supercharged slots, also the S-Class, were a free one. So, Brucey bonus, lovely bubbly. Now in the air, this thing does look lovely. You got the wingtips, you got the prongs, full-size wings, got that undersection. It does look nice, and a beautiful colour. Right now, with ship number 1 on today's S-Class list. Now, all the details for every ship will be shown at the top of the screen. That's the coordinates and the glyphs. Now, the first one coming up today then is a simple dragonfly style, full-size wings and tank feet. However, no other side wings. Not a bad little profile, green and purple. Now, these slots are 1-1-1-1, unfortunately. Very spread out. However, it is a nice simple style, and if the color scheme suits you, maybe it's one you want to look at. Next. Right now, ship number 2 on today's list. As always, details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in a red, white and black. Another dragonfly, full size wings on this one. Now this one does have the extra side wings as well. Now again, it's a 1-1-1-1 when it comes to supercharged slots. S-classes can be very disappointing. But do you like the style? This one's not for me. What about you? Next. Alright, now ship number 3 on today's list. Now this one is definitely not my cup of tea. However, we chose hunt, we hunted, and this is the S-class that we found. Color scheme, red and yellow. Now as you can see, it does have the fangs at the front too. Very long extended engine, long Sentinel indeed. Now the slots come to a 2-1-1. They're not touching though. So again, not the greatest. In the air, it does not open up, so it's not an X-Wing style. It keeps its formation. This one's definitely not for me. You? Next. Right now, ship number 4. Again, all the details are top of the screen. Now this one is a TIE fighter, so it does change shape once in the air. This one comes in an all black and purple style. Very simple, but very nice. Now supercharged slots come in a 2-1-1 setup. Quite decent top end maneuverability there as well, if you notice that. Now again, like I say, when they open up, they do take shape and they do look rather nice. I am a fan of the TIEs and quite often pick one up and shove one in my collection. What about you? Next. Okay, now ship number 5 on today's list. Again, all the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in a blue and black. We also have a little bit of white as the secondary color at the back there. Now, we have the prongs on this one. It's not so much of a TIE fighter, but it does have the prongs top and the prongs on the bottom. Supercharged slots though, a little bit disappointing. Again, 1-1-1-1. Quite a theme with the S-classes when we find them. So it is style over slots and obviously class over slots here. But do you like this one enough to pick it up? Next. Right, ship number 6. This one's a bit of a meaty one. All the details top of the screen. Color scheme in this one comes in purple, black, and a kind of minty green. Deep vent wings, the rear bat wings, all the thrusters it has are lit up. Nice wide front wingtips, nice little shape, and a nice color. Supercharged slots turn out to be an R3 one, so they're not completely touching. But in the air, it looks a little bit pale. But if you like that pale green, maybe you'll like this one. Now, if I was a green fan, maybe, but I'm not. So next. Okay, now ship number 7 on today's list, the final one. And in my eyes, even though skinny wings, it's the best one today. It's a red and grey dragonfly. Like I say, skinny wings, unfortunately, not full size, but it did suck me in enough to want to pick this one up. I found the S-Class version and the slots of it were a 1-2-1. However, once I picked this one up, I did continue the hunt on the live stream and found a 3-1 version. And that's the one that I picked up and is currently in my collection. Nice little style here, grey and red. Okay, now ship number 1 on today's S-Class list. All the details for every ship will be at the top of the screen, and that's the coordinates for the exact location of the ship I show, and the portal glyphs themselves, and they're all Euclid. Now the first one comes in a orange and red and black style. Now the supercharged slots are a little bit disappointing. Now as it's an S-Class, you take what you get, and they're all spread out. Is it good enough for you? Now in the air, this style does look okay, but it's not the sort of ship that I would fly. I do like the depth in the wings, I like the extended thrusters, but would I fly it? No. You? Next. Right, now ship number 2 on today's list. Now all the details top of the screen as always. Color scheme on this one comes in yellow, white and black. Now personally, this is not the sort of ship I would normally want to hunt. However, I do believe on this occasion, one of us in the crew landed at the S-Class, so therefore we documented it. Now the supercharged slots, as you can see, there are 4 over on the left, but they're not grouped well enough to make it amazing. In the air, the rear section does not open and fan, so it is not an X-Wing style. What do you think of this one? Bit bland, to be honest. Next. Okay, now with ship number 3 on today's list. Again, details all top of the screen. Color scheme on this little one comes in a green and yellow. Very minimal. Mandibles on the top. Not a lot going on really. Definitely not a ship that I would fly. However, we found the S-Class version of it. So, do you like it? Supercharged slots, we've got 2 on the left initially and 1 on the right. Now, unfortunately, I have no footage of what they were once I'd unlocked the last slot. However, you can check it out or use your imagination. Do you like this style? Definitely not for me. Next. Right, now, ship number 4 on today's list. Again, they're all S-Class, all the details, top of the screen. This one comes in a blue, white and black. It does have the mandibles again on the top, but this one has multiple layers of wings. It has the fangs on the front, plenty of prongs going on there, extended thrusters, wingtips. Supercharged slots, 2 together towards the middle, and then they sort of 2 separated over towards the right. So again, not amazing supercharged slots, but will the style win you over on this one? In the air, it doesn't look too bad, but again, this is not my cup of tea. Next. Right, now, ship number 5. Again, another one we found, and I'll be honest, we landed at an S-Class. We never actually hunted this one. There's 4 of us in the crew, so sometimes we just land at S-Class versions. So, it's a hauler style, it's big. Now, supercharged slots, we got 2 on the left and then again 2 on the right that are separated. So the supercharged slots don't make it amazing either. But again, does the style suit you and does it beat the slot placement? What do you reckon of this one? Next. Right now, ship number 6 on today's list. Again, all the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in red, purple and black. Again, we've got multiple layers of wings, nice deep vent wings, the rear extended bat wings, extended thrusters top and bottom. You have the pincer style on the top. Supercharged slots, you can see initially just 2 in the middle, 1 on the left. Once you've unlocked the other slot, it's 1 right as well. Again, not a great layout, but what do you think of the style? And again, it is a natural S-Class. Nice fangs on the front, I will say that. I do like them fangs. Next. Okay, now ship number 7 on today's list. All the details top of the screen. Now, another one that comes in a red and black with white on it, this one. Now, it does have the deep vent wings, but the top layer of wings has that section cut out. Again, it's a style that doesn't float my boat, but you may differ. Now, supercharged slots, again, they're all very spread out. There's kind of a theme with most of these S-Classes, and the supercharged slots are never really that great. However, some are. Now, in the air, this one is okay, but not for me. Next. Okay, now we're stepping up to styles that I do like. Now, ship number 8, we have a beautiful, I think, grey and black Sentinel ship here. Very simple, but the colour maketh the ship on this one. Now we have a nice stinger on the top as well. Now the supercharged slots on this one, again just 2 together on the left and then 2 separated towards the right. But again, the style may be just something you want in your collection because it's quite a rare little find, this one. Again, remember this is Euclid and all the details are top of the screen. What do you think of this one? Next. Right, now moving on to ship number 9 on today's list. Again, details top of the screen. Now, the color scheme on this one comes in a yellow and black. Now, this is the long style Dragonfly with the undersection. Now, the undersection does fan out in the air, so it does always look better in flight. Supercharged slots, we've got 2 on the left and 2 across to the right. But again, they're not joining on the right. Now, in the air, like I say, the bottom section does fan out and it does give this a beautiful shape. Again, it's not my cup of tea, but I do appreciate the style on this one. Do you? Next. Right, now with ship number 10 on today's list, all the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in a dual green. Now, it does have extended thrusters top and bottom, if that's your cup of tea. Now, me, would I fly this? No, but I know others would. Now, supercharged slots, there are 3 over to the left and 1 just to the right. Not close enough to make them amazing, but with S-Classes, you get what you're given, like I said. Is it a style that you would take upon? Is it your colour scheme? It's not mine, but we still hunt. You might like it. Next. Okay, now with ship number 11 today, details top of the screen. Now, it's worth mentioning that I did not find this ship on a ship hunt. This was a pure fluke chance of finding this. 1 scan on an expedition took me to this, and it was the S-Class. Now, I don't have all the information, that's all the information I've got, as I didn't upgrade it. However, I did document it on the off chance that someone was like, oh, I like that, and they wanted it. So, there you go, yellow, white, Sentinel ship, big fat light, in Euclid somewhere. There's the details. Let's move on. Next. Now, ship number 12. My favourite of this collection. This one currently resides in my top 12. It's not upgraded at the moment. It's still sat there. I'm deciding, do I keep it? Do I not keep it? This was a find from quite a while ago. This beautiful black Sentinel ship. The supercharged slots, unfortunately, are not that amazing. However, I need to mention that on the planet where this ship is, there's another combo which will take you to a C-Class version. That C-Class version is an L4, like so, once you've upgraded it to S-Class. Let's go. Okay, now, right, let's crack on. Ship number 1 on today's list. Now, all of the ships will have the information at the top of the screen as we display them, coordinates and the glyphs. Now, this first one comes with a juicy fat light, nice simple style with a teal and purple look there, deep vent wings too. Now, the supercharged slots, once you've filled the locked ones, you can see it turns into a 2-1-1, so it can be better. Now, there are better out there as well. It's worth noting that when we do this as a crew, so all the free ones, whether it's a C-Class, B-Class, are also marked on the planet, not just the S-Class. Do you like this one? Next. Okay, now ship number 2 on today's list. Again, all the details top of the screen. Now this one is a Dragonfly style. Now it does have the full-size dragon wings and it does have the undersection. Now red and purple and black is the color scheme. Supercharged slots, as you can see, are all stacked over on the right. Not all together though, unfortunately, but again, there are other versions on the planet also marked, including a free 1 version. What do you think of this one? Is it your style? I don't think it's too bad. Next. Right, now, number 3 on today's list. Again, all the details top of the screen. Now again, this is another Dragonfly style, red and white. It's a much smaller version as it doesn't have the alternate side wings. Does have the full-size dragon wings and the tank feet though. Now supercharged slots, they're very spread out as the S-Class, but again there are alternate versions marked out on the planet if you like this style and you want slots over class. Take your pick. What do you think of this one? In the air, not too bad, but not my cup of tea. Okay, now let's start with ship number 1 on today's list. Now the first one obviously is a Class S, like all of them. Now all the information is at the top of the screen. That includes the coordinates as well as the portal glyphs themselves. Now the color scheme on this one comes in a blue and white. It's a Dragonfly style. Unfortunately, the supercharged slots are very spread out as the S-Class, 2 on the left and then 2 spread out over on the right. In the air though, this thing does look pretty nice, other than the skinny wings. Nice fangs though. Do you like this one? Let's move on. Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 2 on today's S-Class list. Again, all the details top of the screen. Now we have an orange one, but it's not just orange, it's orange and red. It's a nice stylish Sentinel ship here, the nice pincers. Now, are you someone that likes orange? Now the supercharged slots, once you've unlocked all the slots there as you can see, is 2 on the right and then 2 spread over on the left hand side. Now I am a sucker for this model, but would I fly one with orange in it? No, of course I wouldn't. But the question is, would you fly one with orange in it? Next. Okay, now ship number 3 on today's S-Class list. All the details top of the screen. Now, the color scheme on this one comes in a teal and purple. Now, it doesn't have all the thrusters. It's a very simple style model, but some do like them simple. Now, supercharged slots, 2 on the left, 1 just to the right of it, and the 4th one is all the way over to the right once you've unlocked that slot. In the air, very simple style, not a lot going on. The wingtips do finish it off. Nice winch there on the front, but is it enough for you? Would you fly this one? Next. Right, now ship number 4 on today's S-Class list. All the details top of the screen as always. Now, color scheme on this one comes in a yellow and white. Again, a very simple style, but this one does have the rear extended bat wings to give it that little bit of extra length. Now the style itself is a nice style, colour scheme is not for me. Supercharged slots, you need to unlock all the empty slots, but when you do, you can see they're all very spread out. So you're going for style and the S-Class if you take this one. Now in the air, again, it does look very simple, very nice, very sleek, but yellow and white, nah, I can't fly one of them. What about you? Let's move on. Next. Okay, now ship number 5 on today's S-Class list. Now this one is a full-size Dragonfly, and by full size I mean full-size wings. Colour scheme is red, purple and black with a big wide front. Now it does have extensions on the wing, lots going on there, lots of thrusters lit up there. Now it doesn't have the tank feet, which does put some people off. Supercharged slots is 211 once you've unlocked all the blank spots over there. Now in the air, I think ones without tank feet do look nice, especially if it's got the right profile, especially from the back. But it could have done with some pincers. What do you think? Next. Right, now, ship number 6 on today's S-Class list. All the details, top of the screen. Colour scheme on this one comes in red and blue. Now, this one is definitely not my cup of tea. There's not many people that do take these up. Now, I don't remember if we found this one as a natural S straight away or if we actually chose to hunt for this one, but it's definitely not my cup of tea. Supercharged slots, very spread out, the S-Class version. Now in the air, again, it doesn't appeal to me. It just feels so mismatched. Definitely not something I would have in my collection. What about you? Next. Right, now moving on. Ship number 7 on today's S-Class list. All the details, top of the screen. Colour scheme on this one comes in a teal and red. A little bit different to the average. Now, this one has extended thrusters top and bottom. All the thrusters are lit up. It has the double pincer style top and bottom. Supercharged slots are a 211 once you've unlocked all the blank slots. Now, remember, they are S-Class to begin with. Now, in the air, it does all kind of open up and drop just a little bit. It does have a very long face at the front. But the colour scheme, does it appeal to you? Next. Right, now ship number 8 on today's S-Class list. All the details, top of the screen. Colour scheme on this beauty comes in a blue, purple and black. Now it is one of them simple styles that I do like. The extended pincers on the front do give the extended thrusters on the rear. Wingtips as well. Now, supercharged slots, very nice. A 3-1 layout for a natural S-Class. Now, in the air, as you can see, it does look quite nice. It could have done with the extended bat wings on the back, just to give it that little bit more of a profile, but it's still nice. What do you think? Next. Now, ship number 9 on today's S-Class list. This one comes in a yellow, purple and black, big, wide front, skinny Dragonfly wings, not the full-size one. Now, no other side wings, so that is what you're getting with this one. Is this a style that suits you? Supercharged slots come in a 211 as a natural S. Not too bad, but could be better. In the air, if you can handle the skinny wings, this is not a bad, simple style. But the tank feet, no side wings. Does it appeal to you? Not me. Let's move on. Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 10 on today's S-Class list. Now this one comes in a colour scheme of red and black. Now it's a big, long style if you're into these. Now, not many thrusters on this one are lit up, unfortunately. Supercharged slots, when we look at them, are very spread out as well. But again, like I say, it's a natural S, but you're looking at a 1-1. 1-1. In the air, unfortunately, it's not the X-Wing style, so it does not open up. That is its final form in the air and on the ground. What do you think? Next. Right, now moving on, ship number 11 on today's S-Class list. All details top of the screen. Colour scheme on this one comes in a white, purple and black. It does have the tank feet. You have the pincers on the top. You have that big, fat, juicy light. Unfortunately, not too many thrusters going on this one. Now, supercharged slots are very spread out on this, unfortunately. If you do like the style, it's a 1-1-1-1. Now, it's worth bearing in mind all these ships that we find while we're looking for the S-Class. There's 4 of us doing this. We also mark the 3 1s if we find them. So keep an eye out if you want a better version. Next. Right, now moving on to ship number 12 on today's S-Class list. All details top of the screen. Now this one comes with a nice Y-light. It comes with the fangs. It's a tie style. Now it has lots of thrusters lit up there. It comes blue-white, like I say. Now, don't judge this one if you're new to these styles of ships. It does improve once airborne. And also the supercharged slots on this bad boy are a 3-1. Very solid supercharged slots for an S-Class ship. In the air, like I say, it does open up in the TIE fighter form. Definitely better looking in the air than it is on the ground. Do you agree? Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 13 on today's S-Class list. All the details top of the screen. Colour scheme on this one comes in like a red and teal, baby blue. I don't even know what that is, but I don't like it. I don't like the colour and I don't like the style. Maybe it's just a filter and it's just a normal blue, but it does look rather baby blue. Supercharged slots coming in R31, but it doesn't make up for the fact the ship looks very meh. On the ground and in the air, it still remains meh. Do you agree? Would you fly this sort of ship? Would you admit it? Next. Now, moving on now to ship number 14, another ship that belongs in the meh category with the ship previous to this one. Now, the colour scheme on this one comes in blue. Again, not a lot going on. It was, I believe, a ship that we landed at, one of the crew members, and it was an S when they landed, so it got documented. There wasn't a vote, I don't think. Supercharged slots 211, but it is there. If you are that one person in No Man's Sky that likes this ship, it's documented, it's there, you're welcome to it. Enjoy. Let's move on. Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 15 on today's S-Class list. Now, this one comes in a blue once again. Now, this one has what we call on the stream an Elvis top. You do have the tank feet, not many thrusters are lit up, but it is a solid blue there. Now, supercharged slots come in a 3-1 once again. So we've had a few of these, but again, is it a style that you would fly? But as a natural S-Class, 3-1 supercharged slots is not too bad. What do you think about this one? I wouldn't fly it, would you? Next. Right, now ship number 16 on today's S-Class list. Now we have another Dragonfly style here. Now, full size wings once again, and this one is a very simple but nice green. Not a bad little style if you like this colour scheme. Supercharged slots though, as an S-Class, come as a 2-1-1 layout. Now once you take it in the air, you can see the full size wings in action. Nice little profile, very simple front, but overall not a bad little ship. Do you like this one? Next. Okay, now moving on now, ship number 17. Now this one is a very simple yet stylish ship nonetheless. Red and black, just the rear bat wings, the stinger and the undersection and the simple bug body. Very simple, but may appeal to some. Supercharged slots, once again, pretty nice. A 3-1, solid for a natural S-Class. In the air, despite being very simple and small because of the extended front, the extended rear bat wings, this actually has quite a nice long profile. What do you think of this one? Next. Let's go. Okay, now ship number 1 on today's S-Class list then. Now all the details on every ship will be at the top of the screen. That is the glyphs and the exact coordinates for the exact ship I'm showing you. Now this one, the first one, let's get it over and done with and out the way. Yes, it's orange. Now the S-Class orange, we landed at it. That's why it was documented. It's a 2-1-1. In the supercharged slot department. Once it's airborne, it is an X-wing formation. The top and the bottom do fan out. Now, if no one else takes it, maybe Sean Murray will. He does like orange. Next. Okay, now ship number 2 on today's S-Class list. Again, all the details top of the screen, coordinates and the glyphs. Now, the style on this one is very simple. Color scheme is red and purple. It does have all the thrusters lit that it does have. Prongs on the side, stinger on the top, fangs on the front. Supercharged slot layout is a 2-1-1. Maneuverability is quite slow on this one as an S-Class. Now, in the air, not a lot really changes other than the top and bottom do kind of open and spread out just a little bit. Not my cup of tea though. Very simple. What about you? Let's move on. Next. Okay, now with ship number 3 on today's list. Now all the details top of the screen. A nice simple style again here. Color scheme on this one comes in a green, purple and black. Now it does have the rear extended bat wings to give it that little bit more profile. It doesn't have all the thrusters active though, as you can see. Now supercharged slots, they come as a 2-1-1 in the S-Class. Again, very average maneuverability as an S-Class stock. In the air, if you do like them this simple, it is quite a nice ship. But again, you need to like green to want this one. Do you like green? Not me. Next. Now, yes, this made it in because we landed at it. and when we landed at it, it was an S-Class. The rule is, if we land at an S-Class, instant documentation, no hunt. Now all the details top of the screen, very simple ship. I've marked this down as small ugly in the files. Now supercharged slots, we've got 2, 1, 1. Maneuverability though, better than the last one, that's for sure. Very simple, very thin profile once airborne. Definitely not the kind of ship that I would be flying. What about you? Big pass from me. Next. Okay, now moving on to S-Class number 5 on today's list. All the details, coordinates, glyphs, top of the screen. Color scheme on this one is, again, a kind of mint green and purple. All the thrusters are lit. It does have tank feet. Very basic side wings though. Supercharged slots, you need to unlock all the slots to see them all, but you do get a 2, 1, 1 once you've done that. Again, average maneuverability stock. Now it does have the little winch on the front, but not very impressive unless you really do like them simple. Again, not one for me, but maybe for you. What are you saying? Next. Okay, now ship number 6 on today's list. Again, all the details top of the screen. Very simple again we got here. However, it's a nice little ship in terms of X-Wing. If you do like X-Wings without the excess side wings on the side, maybe take a look at this one. Now, supercharged slots, not amazing. A 2-2. Maneuverability, just above average, nothing too special. Again, we got this green color scheme going on. Eissentam feeding us lots of greens that evening. Now, like I say, a nice X-Wing formation if you do like the X-Wings. What are you saying? Next. Okay, now let's move on to ship number 7 on today's S-Class list. Now, this one, it split the vote because of the Elvis top. However, Hunt came through. We did Hunt, and we did find the S-Class version. Now it's got pincers on the bottom and deep vent wings too. 211 is the supercharged slot layout. 473 is the maneuverability stock. In the air, it doesn't look too bad. It's just the Elvis top that ruins it for me flying in first person. So big hard pass. Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 8 on today's S-Class list. All the details are top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in a green, white, and black. Now, we've seen loads of greens today. Eissentam really wanted to show us some green ships, it seems. Now, supercharged slots, 211. Maneuverability 453, so rather average. In the air, doesn't look too bad. It does spread out a little bit, but the question really is do you like green? And if so, which one of the greens today did you prefer? For me, none. Next. Right, now moving on to ship number 9 on today's list. All the details top of the screen. Now, color scheme on this one, guess what this is? No, it's not green. It's blue and purple. Finally. No green. Now this one comes in a nice X-Wing formation like the previous one, but this one does have the little mini side wings, including the rear bat wings. Supercharged slots, you can only see 2 initially. You have to unlock them all, but it's 1, 1, 1, 1. Really basic. Now in the air though, if you do like the X-Wing shape, this is a little beauty. Look at it. Looky little cutie. But I haven't got no room for it. Let's move on. Next. And here we go then with the last one on today's list, ship number 10. All the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in a red and blue with a little bit of black in there too. Nice rear bat wings. Now, supercharged slots, once you've unlocked the blank ones, you'll turn that into a 3-1. That's not a bad little setup. For an S-Class, quite rare. 481 was a top maneuverability on that one as well. Now, in the air, it doesn't look too bad with the double pincer layout, but the question is, do you like red and blue? Right, ship number 1 on today's list. Now, as I say, they are all S-Class. Now, the details for this are top of the screen, the coordinates, and the glyphs, and remember they are all in Eissentam. Now the first S-Class we found today is very simple styled, but it's green, white and black. Now the supercharged slots are a little bit meh, to be honest, let's face it, but if you're looking for an S-Class in green with the X-Wing formation, well, check this one out. I mean, in the air it looks quite nice, and if, like I say, you do like the X-Wing style, this one will not disappoint. What do you think of this one though? Let's move on. Next. Right, now ship number 2 on today's list. As always, details, coordinates and the portal glyphs are top of the screen. Now this one comes in a funky little style, and I do like the colour scheme on this one. It's quite unique, and some people just don't know what they see when they see it. Now I did grab this one, keep hold of it just for a little while, even took it to a Sunday ship me. Unfortunately everyone said next. I liked it though. The black pincers on the front for me did finish it off. I don't have it anymore, but I thought this did look a tidy little ship, and the colour formation was quite unique compared to most. And most importantly, it wasn't orange. Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 3 on today's list. Now, again, details top of the screen. This is the Dragonfly style with the full-size wings. We do have the undersection that give the extended thrusters at the rear. All the thrusters that it does have are lit up. It does have a solid shape there and a solid colour. Now, the S-Class, you can only see 2 initially until you've upgraded it, but once you have, you can see you've got 2, 1, 1. But like I say, it is an S-Class, and if you like the style and you want an S-Class, congratulations, this is a beauty. In the air it looks fantastic, that big wide front, all thrusters lit up. Nice. Do you like it? Next. Okay, now ship number 4 on today's list. All the details are top of the screen. Now the colour scheme on this one comes in red and red. Now the style itself is not my cup of tea. Now it does turn out to be an X-wing, so the shape does change once you are in the air, so don't judge it just yet. Supercharged slots. Now as you can see, you need to unlock all the slots to see them properly, but when you do, you can see there's a nice group of 3 over on the left. So for an S-Class, the slots are pretty nice. Now once in the air, the rear sections do open and fan out, creating that X-wing shape, but is it enough for you to want to like this one? The slots are good. Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 5 on today's list. Another big one here, another hauler, but it was an S-Class, so we had to document it. That was the journey. So this one comes in a blue and white, fully equipped, so it does have the solid encased top and bottom. You have prongs on the side, prongs on the wing, extended thrusters. A lot going on this one. Now, as the S-Class, fully upgraded, you get the 2 on the left and 2 on the right. So not as good as the last one in terms of slots, but it's probably a better looking one if you like haulers. What do you reckon of this one? Blue and black? I went off haulers a long time ago, so not my cup of tea. Next. Right, moving up. Number 6 on today's list. Again, all the details are top of the screen. Colour scheme on this one comes in red and black. Again, it's a double red with the black. Lovely looking ship. Now, it's just got the wingtips on the side, no extended engines, but it does have the undersection, which does extend. This is a really nice ship, and again, I had this one in my collection for quite a while. Supercharged slots, though, 2, 1, 1. So in terms of slots, not the best, but it's an S-Class, and it looks fantastic in the air. Look at that bad boy. What do you think of this? Let me know in the comments. Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 7. All the details are top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in red and the default purple. Now, there's a lot going on this one. Lots of prongs, extended thrusters. All the thrusters that it does have are lit up. You've got the wingtips on the side, top and bottom as well. Lots going on. Supercharged slots, we can see 2 over together on the right, and there's 2 towards the middle, but they're not together. But like I say, it's an S-Class. We weren't looking for the slots. But in the air, this thing looks nice. Like I say, the tips top, tips bottom. Lots going on, all sort of spreads open a bit. But do you like the colour scheme on this one? What do you reckon? Next. Okay, now ship number 8 on today's list. Now, all the details top of the screen. Colour scheme on this one comes in green with the default purple. We have tank feet on this one and the extended thrusters on the side. Not all the thrusters are lit up. Very minimal attachments on this one. Now, when we look at the supercharged slots, they're all over the place. So there's nothing screaming fantastic here when it comes to slots, but I am very slot fussy when it comes to my ships. In the air, once the tank feet tuck up, there's not really a lot to look at. Like I say, minimal attachments on this one. Minimalist. Next. Okay, now moving on to ship number 9 on today's S-Class list. Now, this one does come in a fantastic style, a fantastic colour scheme, and it has fantastic slots. This is definitely the best S-Class ship on today's list. Now, if you like white and black or purple, this is one you should definitely check out. Now, you have to unlock all the slots once you've picked it up, and you'll see that beautiful Z supercharged slot formation over on the right, all tightly packed together. What would you do with them if you picked it up? Would you be a speed freak or a damage freak? Okay, now with ship number 1 on today's list. Now remember, all the details for every ship will be shown at the top of the screen. That includes the coordinates for the exact location of the ship I show, as well as the portal glyphs themselves. So the first one comes in a red, white, and black. Very simple, small style, this one. Supercharged slots as an S-Class. You don't get too much choice, unfortunately. You can't really hunt the S-Classes out, and they're all really spread out, so you take what you get with an S-Class. Not the best slots, but in the air, it doesn't look too bad once it all opens up and you see it in its full glory. Next. Okay, with ship number 2 on today's list, we're looking at another red Sentinel ship. This one does have the tank feet, and it also has the skinny wings. And remember, all the details you need for the exact ship are on the top of the screen. Now, skinny wings on the Dragonfly don't do it for me. Do they do it for you? Supercharged slots on this one, like the last, very spread out, unfortunately. Now, I didn't seem to have any airborne footage of this, so I do apologize. But if you like it, you know where it is now. Isdoraijung. Go and get it. Next. Right, now ship number 3 on today's list. Again, all the details top of the screen. A color scheme on this one comes in your default purple, or as some may see it, black. Now, it is a simple style with a stinger on the back, and it is basic on the ground. You need to get it in the air to see it all opened up in its tie style. Now, the supercharged slots on this one are probably the best that we found in this little collection. It's a free one setup for the supercharged slots. Now, in the air, once it all opens up, it doesn't look too bad if you do like the tie style, but I know it won't appeal to many. Are you one of the few? Next. Now, moving on to ship number 4 on today's list. All the details top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in green and white. Now, lots of thrusters going on, not maxed out though. It does have tank feet and that Elvis style top. Now, supercharged slots, initially you can only see 3 until you've unlocked all the empties, and then you'll see finally it's a 2-2, so not too bad. Now, the color scheme, like I say, is green and white. It's a very pale minty green. Is that your cup of tea? Now, this is not the sort of ship you're going to see me flying in, but what about you? That's the most important part. Next. Now, ship number 5 on today's list. Okay, now, all the details, as you know by now, top of the screen. Color scheme on this one comes in green Rizzler. It's a nice green and yellow. It is an extended style ship. So the question is it an X-Wing style? Well, you're about to find out. Now, supercharged slots, initially you can only see 2 on the middle, 1 on the right, but once you've unlocked the other one, you can see the 4th on the left-hand side. In the air, no, it doesn't open up into an X-Wing style. Disappointing, but is it enough for you to want to go and grab this one? What do you think? Next. Alright, now ship number 6 on today's list. All the details top of the screen. Now this one comes in a kind of sandy yellow, Karamak yellow, gold and white. It has full-size wings and it does have the undersection there as you see. But what maketh the ship is when it goes in the air. Now, supercharged slots, we've got 2 on the left, 1 in the middle, and 1 just to the right of that. Now, in the air, that bottom section, yes, it does open up. So if you like this style of ship, which does look far superior in the air to what it does on the ground, what do you reckon of this one? Are you going to pick it up? Okay then, so ship number 1 on today's list. Now remember, all the details will be the top of the screen. That's the coordinates as well as the glyphs to get the exact ship at the exact location. Now this one comes in a red and mint green. All the thrusters are active on this one. Now the supercharged slots, unfortunately, are a little bit meh when it comes to the final product. They're all really spread out. However, you may like the style and not care about the supercharged slots. In the air, this thing does look quite nice. Simple, but is it your cup of tea? Next. Okay, now with ship number 2 on today's list. Again, all the details, remember, are top of the screen. Now this one is a tie style, so don't judge it on the ground. This is one of those ships that you need to see it in the air to see its full shape. Color scheme is purple and blue. Supercharged slots, once you've unlocked all the blank ones, you can see it's a 2-1-1. Is it good enough for you? Now in the air, as I said, it does open and spread and it gives it a whole new form and shape. Is it the shape that you like? I don't mind these TIE fighters. What about you? Next. Okay, with ship number 3 now on the list. So again, details top of the screen. The colour scheme on this one at first I thought was grey, and I think most of the chat thought was grey until we got it in a different light. However, the hunt did take place. We found the S-Class version of this simple looking ship. The supercharged slots as the S-Class though are a little bit disappointing once again, all spread out, but does that bother you? Now when you get it in the air, it's a kind of pea green. I don't know what green that is, but it's a green. Do you like it? Not my cup of tea. But horses and courses. Next. Okay, now with ship number 4 on today's S-Class list. Remember, all the details top of the screen. Now, this one comes in blue, white and black. It is full-size dragon wings. It has the tank feet as well, the big wide front with the 4 eyes. Lots going on this one. Now, as for supercharged slots, we can see 3 over on the left and 1 on the right. So not a bad little setup, what I'd call an R3-1. Now, in the air, this thing does look pretty nice. Like I say, so much going on, so it's got a big shape. But do you like blue, white and black? Next. Right, ship number 5. Again, all the details are top of the screen. Colour scheme on this one comes in a red and blue. Not my colour scheme, I'm not into the Spider-Man style. Now, this one does have the 4 mini wings, top and bottom, so it does give it the X-Wing style at the back. So it does have a nice profile in the air. Now, as for supercharged slots, once you've unlocked the blank ones, you can see there's 3 on the left and 1 over on the right. It's just a shame they're not all connected. But in the air, this thing does look quite nice if you like this style, because it has plenty going on. And like I say, with the mini wings top and the mini wings bottom, it makes for a nice X-Wing. Next. Okay, now ship number 6 on today's list. Again, all the details at top of the screen. Now, the colour scheme on this one comes in a purple and green. It's got fangs on the front with this one, and the undersection it does give it the rear extended thrusters as well. Now, lots of layers of wings there, 3 in total, so not bad. But the supercharged slots, very spread out, unfortunately. Not the best they could be, so not one I picked up. Now, in the air, this one does look rather simple. But like I say, 3 layers of wings, so it does have a nice profile from certain angles, and they got beautiful fangs. Do you like fangs? Next. Okay, now on with ship number 7 on today's S-Class list. Again, details top of the screen. Colour scheme on this one comes in a yellow and red. Now, this one is a really nice shape, and I know many do like this style, but it's colour here. Do you like the colour? It has the nice pincers with the rear extended thrusters, multiple layers of wings, including the deep vent wings, supercharged slots. Once you've unlocked all the slots that are blank, you can see it's a 2-1-1. Is it good enough for you? Like I said, I really do like the shape on these, but the colour scheme is not for me. It's a shame. I really did like this ship. Do you? Oh, beauty. Next. Okay, now ship number 8 on the list. All the details top of the screen. Colour scheme on this one comes in a black and white. Now we do have the deep vent wings, lots of prongs going on, top and side. Now the style itself with the pincers on the top and nothing on the bottom, not my cup of tea, but maybe you disagree. Now, supercharged slots, you can see just 3 initially, but once you've unlocked the blank one, it is a 2-1-1. I wonder how many of you will actually like this style. Now, in the air, the top does sort of drop and spread just a little bit once the wings dip. It does take a half decent shape, but again, like I say, it's not my cup of tea. Next. Now, ship number 9 on today's S-Class list. Now, I will say, no one in the chat said hunt on this one. It just so happens that one of the members of our hunting crew found it as we landed. So we documented it just in case someone actually likes it. Now the supercharged slots, once you've unlocked the blank ones, you can see it's actually decent. It's a free one. Typical, because no one wanted it. Now in the air, well, what can you say? It looks like Elvis, I guess. Just a bit off colour. Next. Right, now ship number 10 on today's list. Again, this is another one that we just happened to drop at, and it was an S-Class. No one in the chat voted hunt on it. I didn't get the chance because it was an S-Class, so we documented it on the off chance that one of you watching actually likes haulers. And again, a free one with the supercharged slots. Irony. Now in the air, if you like haulers, it's not a bad shape. Nice wingtips, the nice section at the bottom that drops down. It's got the full back, but it's not for me. Next. Okay, now ship number 11. Here we have another tank feet style. Again, it's not one we said hunt on. We just happened to land at an S-Class and we documented it there and then. So it's a full-size Dragonfly with the full wings and tank feet, but it's orange and black and white, very default looking. Supercharged slots were a 211. Now in the air, it looks as you'd expect it to look with the full-size wings and tank feet, but are you a fan of orange, or are you like the members of my streams and would you say next? Next. Okay, now ship number 12 on today's list. This one comes in a color scheme of green and black. This one again has the mini wings top and the mini wings bottom, giving it that X-wing formation. Lots of thrusters going on there, green, red and black. Nice popping colors. 211 are the supercharged slots, so they're not too bad. Again, the color scheme is not for me, but the chat did say hunt on this one. Hunt we did, and we found the S-Class. Do you like it though? Next. Right, now for number 13, the final one on today's S-Class list, and I have to say is my personal favorite based on its style. This is a nice white and black one, and I wish I had more ship slots because I wanted to keep this one. Now at first it doesn't look like much, you can't see too much, but it does have the mini wings on the bottom as well, as you can see there. Supercharged slots are a 2-2. Now once in the air, the profile looks really nice. I like those angled wings, I like the stinger on the top. It's a white on white. Now those little mini wings at the bottom give it a nice profile from the rear. What do you think about this one? And that is all 100 of the S-Class Sentinel ships found so far this year in 2024 here on the Game Hub. Many more to come, some great S-Class ships and some amazing supercharged slot setup ships yet to be put into videos, so keep an eye out for them. Now, let your opinion be known in the comments, and if we haven't covered the ship that you like, come and join us on our live streams every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, where we do some ship hunting on No Man's Sky, and the chat is the ones that decide what do we hunt and what do we next for these videos. Now also we do Sunday ship meets, their live streams as well at 9:30 p.m. Bring your best ship. Come and let the chat decide, is it a great ship or not? And have a little game of Hunt or Next of us on a Sunday. As always, thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.